United States President Donald Trump concedes for the first time that Joe Biden will be the next U.S. president, a day after his supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol as Congress was certifying Biden's victory.
Now Congress has certified the results. A new administration will be inaugurated on January 20th. My focus now turns to ensuring a smooth, orderly, and seamless transition of power. To the citizens of our country, serving as your president has been the honor of my lifetime.
On Friday, January 8, Manila time, Trump also condemns the riot, saying the demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy.
To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
This statement was a stark reversal for Trump, who previously insisted he won in the November 3 election due to widespread fraud, despite no evidence. Acting U.S. Attorney Michael Sherwin says the Trump supporters who stormed the U.S. Capitol could face charges including sedition, insurrection, and rioting. Meantime, Facebook becomes the first major social media platform to block Trump's accounts, silencing him for at least the next 2 weeks until the presidential transition is completed. Facebook's chief executive officer Mark Zuckerberg says, quote, "We believe the risks of allowing the president to continue to use our service during this period are simply too great." Twitter and Snapchat also temporarily locked Trump's accounts amid the U.S. Capitol riots. A friend of flight attendant Christine Dacera says the employees of the City Garden Hotel in Makati were allegedly slow in helping Dacera during her last few hours. In an ANC interview Friday, January 8, Dacera's friend Clark Rapinan, who was also tagged as one of the suspects, says the employees responded slowly while they were already panicking. Dacera's death spiraled into controversy on social media after the Philippine National Police claimed that she died from an alleged rape slay and tagged her friends as the suspects despite the lack of evidence. Rapinan recalls asking for help from the hotel employees to revive Dacera after they tried performing CPR on her. He says the employees who arrived did not immediately perform CPR on Dacera, but transported her instead through a wheelchair to the hotel's clinic, where another employee performed CPR on her. A police report says no ambulance was available at the time. Hotel employees and Dacera's friends then rushed her to the hospital, where she was declared dead on arrival. The City Garden Hotel is already under fire for allowing its rooms to be used for leisure, prompting the Department of Tourism to demand an explanation from hotel management. Rappler has reached out to City Garden Hotel for comments on Rapinan's claim, but a hotel staff member says they will issue a statement at a later date. A Pfizer laboratory study says its COVID-19 vaccine produced with BioNTech appears to work against a key mutation in the highly transmissible new variants of the coronavirus discovered in the UK and South Africa. The study indicates the vaccine is effective in neutralizing the virus in 16 mutations the company tested. The study was conducted on blood taken from people who had been given the vaccine. Meantime, Russia's Gamaleya Research Institute submits an application for emergency authorization for its Sputnik V COVID-19 vaccine in the Philippines. In an official statement on Friday, January 8, the Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, says it received Gamaleya's application for an emergency use authorization, or EUA, on Thursday, January 7. Gamaleya earlier eyed Phase 3 clinical trials in the Philippines and sent a partial submission for these efforts last December 17, but it withdrew its plan and instead opted to secure an EUA on January 6. The firm earlier announced that its vaccine had an efficacy rate of 91.4%, though it had not published its full findings in a scientific journal. Pulse Asia shows nearly all Filipino adults are afraid of the deadly coronavirus disease. In its findings shared to the media on Thursday, January 7, Pulse Asia says 94% of Filipino adults worry about getting COVID-19. The survey was conducted from November 23 to December 2 to 2,400 respondents aged 18 years and above through face-to-face interviews. Despite their fear of contracting COVID-19, only 32% of the respondents say they would stay at home when it is not necessary to go out. Meanwhile, 71% say they clean their hands on a regular basis and 66% say they use face masks. The survey also shows that 30% of the respondents say they observe physical distancing, 20% use face shields, and 20% avoid crowded places. This comes as health experts warn of the more contagious COVID-19 variants from the UK, which they believe might trigger a 15-fold spike of the cases in the country once it reaches Philippine shores. The Health Department, or DOH, on Friday, January 8 says aside from the UK variant, it is also monitoring other variants found in South Africa and Malaysia. Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeres says the DOH will continue its surveillance after the Philippine Genome Center did not find the presence of COVID-19 variants in the 305 samples it tested. YouTube channel Showbiz Fanatics claims Ayala Corporation CEO Fernando Zobel de Ayala shamed members of the opposition and sided with President Rodrigo Duterte. This is false. At the start of the video posted on Wednesday, January 6, a voiceover says Zobel de Ayala spoke out bravely against the opposition, including Vice President Leni Robredo. The channel cites as its source Zobel de Ayala's appearance in the press briefing of presidential spokesperson Harry Roque on Monday, January 4. Upon fact-checking, he did not mention Robredo or any member of the opposition during the virtual briefing with Roque. Instead, he talked about Ayala Corporation's donation of doses of a COVID-19 vaccine to the Philippine government. The Ayala CEO made no mention of pledging his allegiance to the Duterte government during the briefing. The video has more than 150,000 views on YouTube so far. Rappler has previously debunked several false claims by the Showbiz Fanatics channel.